Okay, hi. Yeah, I'm fiddling with the GoToMeeting control panel. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Let's get started on this thing. On my second monitor, I'm looking at the posted picture that the fellow put on there. I'm going to take a crack at it using Home Designer Suite. One of the things I usually first do is just turn off the grid. It's under plan defaults. I think most new users don't really familiarize themselves with the software and the settings under here are default settings, and you save yourself a lot of grief if you would spend some time read the reference manual on this section, because it's so important and saves you so much time if you have it working for you. But I just want to turn the grid off. All right, let's draw some. Now, all I have is this front view, and I'm not going to address why the roofs aren't the same overhang length on either side, because that's not the most obvious thing about this plan. We'll just draw 4 walls. I'm using 2x6 walls because that's the default walls. And you know what it builds by default is a hip roof. That's just what it's pre-programmed out of the factory to do. And it looks like your things need to make it a little bit deeper. Okay. Now we want a gable roof here. So the way to do that is to open the roof. See, I've got a wall selected here. And I open the dialog box of the roof, go to the roof tab, and tell it I want a gable roof over that wall. And bingo, bango, it makes one. Same thing on this one. Open it up, go to the roof tab, full gable, okay. We got a gable. Let's take a look at her. Okay, gable roof. Looks like your picture needs to be steeper. I mean, my roof needs to be steeper to match your picture. So we'll go over here to the build roof dialog. I'm going to double click on it. Okay, it doesn't work the same way in Pro and Chief. All right, no big deal. We'll go to build. Where's that? I don't use Suite all the time. Sorry about that. So I might fumble around. There it is, roofs, build roofs. Okay, out of the box default for roofs is 8. Looks like yours are 12. So we're going to rebuild them 12-12, and they automatically should rebuild at 12-12. And they did. Okay. Now let's look at the porch. Now that was the easy part. I'm not going to mess with the second floor or the story amp, whatever. I don't have enough information about your plan to start guessing about what other things might be there than the picture shows. There's a couple of windows upstairs. Now let's put on the porch. That's probably the hard part. Jane, I think, told you that you got to do some wall breaks and stuff like that. I didn't quite understand why she said that, because in your picture the porch is offset, but be that as it may, let's just select a deck wall tool, deck tools. Looks like in the picture yours is a little bit inset on either side, like that. Let me move that labels out of the way. They're on top. There we go. This living area thing, you're welcome to read about it in the reference manual. I never use it. I think it's under plan defaults or something like that. I usually turn it off because if you don't know how to use it, it'll just confuse you or give you the idea that you know something that you don't know. You have to study the reference manual on these things to find out really what's what. Okay, where is that thing? I forgot. And I forgot where to turn that off. Well, forget about it. It's in the reference manual where you want to. I'm just going to delete it. Okay, now we have a deck here. Now by default, when you draw a deck room, it comes in its dialog box here with no roof and no ceiling. That's why the program didn't automatically build a roof or ceiling over that. One thing I probably should do is I just kind of sketch this in. It looks like in your picture that the front porch is symmetrical. So use the dimension tool and just make it symmetrical. No need for me to be sloppy unnecessarily. I need that dimension not on the roof plane. There we go. From there to the corner. I don't care that it goes to the roof plane. I just don't want to measure from the roof plane. Get over there. Okay, so we'll just pick some arbitrary figure. I don't care what it is, 18 inches. And this is not really significant. I'm just being neat, okay? I don't want you to get the wrong idea that I'm doing some arcane thing that has heavy, that's the wrong dimension. I want to get that dimension. That's the one, 18. Okay, now, if I go over here to the room dialog box of the deck and tell it to have a roof over it and a ceiling, it'll have a roof and a ceiling. Bingo bango. Let's take a look at what it automatically did, which is probably not what you and I want. This software is not real intelligent. It's intelligently made, but it has no intelligence. It can't read your mind. It's not going to automatically, do exactly what you want. You have to make it do what you want. Let's just, for fun, I'll leave this over on the right hand, or the other right hand, the left hand side. Let me get Shift F6. There we go. You can watch this as it develops because auto roofs is turned on, so it'll automatically respond to the changes I make over here on this side. To get to split screens like this, I hit Control F6. I think it's under Window, right here, Tile. Yeah, there it is. See it? Shift F6, just so you know I didn't make it up. All right. Now, first thing I want to do is tell this wall what I need it to do, what kind of roof I need it to build over it. See, it's going to build a 12-12 roof there because I haven't told it not to do that. I have to tell it out what I actually want. So go over here to the roof tab, and right here under pitch, see it's building a 12-12 pitch there. I don't need 12-12 isn't going to work anyway. It's 3-12 ought to work. Let's see what that does. That's a little bit better, but see how it's still trying to, in its goofy way, try to follow the commands. If there's any evidence you needed that this software is not smart, well, this should be it. It needs directions from people who know how to use it. I'm going to open this wall and tell it to be a high shed gable wall. Yeah, see, this will probably goober things up as well because it needs to be a gable. But just for fun, since we're watching here and learning stuff, I'm going to take that out and tell it to be high shed gable, see what it does. Yeah, see, it kind of tried to do what I want, but it didn't quite get there. So I'm going to put it back where it was. And this is the way you can learn the software too. Just try things. Read the manual and then practice with it and then try. Well, if I do that, if I do this, what will that do? Okay. Now your picture has hip roofs on the side, so I guess I ought to go ahead and fix those. This one's supposed to be not 12-12, but probably, I'm going to guess at 3-12. And, it tried to put a 3-12 there in its halting, mechanical, stupid way. And put a 3 in there. So see, it's trying to get there, and it's certainly closer than it was. From the look of your picture, that looks about right. I mean, not this, of course. That looks goofy. But let's see what we can do. I'll tell you what. I just had a thought. I'm going to go over here to the Build Roof dialog. That's under the build menu, dummy, talking to myself. Build roof. Ignore, okay, good. I told you to ignore the top floor. That's okay. Now that I think of it, I should have expected that. Let's go over here and to the build menu and build a floor, build new floor. And I'm not going to derive it from the first floor. I just want them blank. And I don't even, let's see, looking at your picture, I would guess the second floor is probably 8 feet. I'm just guessing. Okay, now we're kind of back where we were. What I was thinking was I could straighten this out. Okay, now these walls here are automatically generated. See, it's yapping at me about these are automatically generated walls. Okay, and that means that they're no locate and no room define. Look it up in the reference manual. Those are very important things that you need to know. And this is just telling me that I'm messing with an automatically generated wall. Of course, I know I'm doing that. There's some method to my madness, at least I hope there is. And let's see, I want to take this to the General tab and undo that. What I intend to do is draw a room up here. There's got to be some way for me to unconfuse the software and where it's trying to build this roof and this roof at the same time and mix them together, which of course is totally goofy. But like I say, it's a machine. You have to supply the intelligence. Hopefully I'm supplying some. We'll see. Now I told that by default for the second floor to have a 9-foot ceiling, and so if I rebuild, but I also told the roof generator to ignore the second floor. That's the reason not much has changed. I'm going to change this finished ceiling to I don't know, 12 inches, just temporarily. Let me unclick default so it'll stay. If you don't uncheck default, then the value you put in won't stay. Okay, that's fine. Now, I'm going to tell this wall on the second floor to have a full gable. I'm going to tell this wall to be a full gable. I'm just trying to go around the first floor. Okay, and then I need to go down to the... Oh, I am on the first floor. Oops. What the heck? No, I'm on the second floor. The toggle here says second. I saw that. Okay, never mind. I got confused there for a second. I'm going to take these commands, those roof commands out. Isn't that beautiful? And take this command out of the first floor. Okay. Let's take a look and see what's going on over here. Now, I told you when I saw Jane's instructions, I went, what? But here, I'm finding out myself it wasn't quite as simple as I thought it was. Okay. Getting the gable was pretty simple. Sometimes these freaking porches are kind of a headache. All right, now I'm on the first floor. Let's try this. Well, I don't want, in your picture, it looks like, I don't know about the second floor. That was one of the reasons I said post some pictures or sketches or something like that, because that one single picture just doesn't really give enough information to really have a success here. Let's see, I'm going to go down to the first floor, tell this thing now to be a high shed gable. See if that'll help me out. I'm just trying to separate the first floor from the second floor roofs, although this, if I go up here and tell this to be 96 inches tall, it'll probably look better, but it won't be what you wanted. Oh, I got to tell the roof generator not to ignore the second floor too. I forgot. Yeah, see what I mean? I mean, that's kind of sort of what you want, but you don't want the roofs way up here. So let's see what we can do. Let me uncheck default, and I'll make the ceiling height temporarily 4 feet. Okay, that brought it a little closer. Do you see how the roof jumped down? They're following my commands, just like they were a good dog. Okay, that's pretty stinking close. You know, if I had better information, I could probably do a better job for you. Now that I look at this, like these hip ends look like maybe they're steeper than I've got them at 3. Let's just take a look at that, and we can watch it develop. But it looks like these triangles are a little bit larger in my model than in your picture, so that means that they're steeper. So we'll call that 512 and see what that does. No, I didn't want the whole thing to grow out there. That's a goop. Well, okay. Bad idea. Too bad you can't set the overhang automatically. And also in Suite, you have to do these walls one at a time. In Pro and in Chief, you can shift select them as a group. Well, not real crazy about that. I don't like this big overhang. Well, let me see what I can do over here in the build roof dialog. Well, I'm a little bit embarrassed. This is making me a little more heavy lifting than I expected. Let's go to like 6-inch overhang. Okay, that helped out. I just changed the overhang value from 18 to 6. Okay, I'm going to call that good enough. But you see, you can change around these figures and so forth. I don't know what your figures are supposed to be, so I'm guessing. And let me show you one more thing. We got this porch here, and I don't think I can shift select the walls. No, not in Suite. All right, we'll open them one at a time. I'll go over to the railing tab this time and tell it to be post overhead beam. I mean, something got to hold up the roof, right? Open this one, post overhead beam. And una más, as we say in Texas, one more. Voila, as the French say. We'll put a doorway. Well, actually, we don't need to put a doorway. I can create a terrain plane, create terrain perimeter, and then we'll go to the stair tool. Where is that thing? There it is. And I need to use a click stair for a porch to terrain. We'll click there, and there's your steps. Yours are a little bit wider. Looks like about 8 feet wide, so we'll change the length there to 96. And we could change some material assignments. I could probably open this dialog and tell it to have wrong one. Come on. On the style tab. Oh, yeah, there he is. Railing left and right. Yeah, okay. And you could change the materials to white, blah, blah, blah. But this is close. I know it's not exact, but it's close. But this is how you get this stuff done in Suite, where you have to use secondary settings. You know, like in Chief Architect, I could just click on the roof and open its dialog box and tell it to go where the heck I wanted it to go. But in Suite, you have to work through secondary settings, you know, in wall dialog boxes and room dialog boxes to modulate change the ceiling height and kind of guide the thing along. Now, I've got the ceiling here set to 24 inches, which is, of course, that's goofy. Let me set it to 18 and see if it goes to pieces. No, that's okay. Now, once the roofs are built, you go to the build roof dialog, and you turn off auto rebuild roofs. Okay? Then you can go back in here and raise it back to the default. The ceiling will rise, and these little dashed lines here show where this flat ceiling meets the tilt of the roof. let me show you that. These you can't select them. They're on a layer called ceiling lines or something like that. We'll take a look at this dollhouse view. Yeah, that's basically your room. It's going to be 8-foot ceiling here, and then it's going to angle down to your knee walls on the side. From inside the room, it would be something like that. Where'd my windows go? Oh. What are you doing up there? Yeah, we'll just delete those. They got lost in the shuffle here. We'll put them in. See, I put them in before there was a second floor, and they got lost. They're only little virtual objects, so you have to forgive them. They don't know where to go. You have to tell them. Everything in the software, you have to control it. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. Now, I have those in. Well, that looks about right. It might be, my house may be a little wider than your house or deeper, but that's the general idea, and I hope this helps you. Sincerely, I do. Thank you. Turn this thing off.